You need to hear this if you care about Black empowerment. Dr. Umar Johnson is at it again and people are fired up. Welcome to The Awakening, Black Women United. I am your host, Sherry Danny. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit that notification bell. Umar Johnson was recently on The Art of Dialogue, a popular Black American YouTube podcast, and said that Black women don't deserve $20,000 a month in child support from Black male celebrity fathers, but those Black men who bunny hopped, meaning they have children with white or non-Black women, he has no mercy for them. Why should Black women continue to listen to this unattractive, spitty, finger-looking scammer? Who has not paid his child support and was evicted? Umar is a bum. So wait a minute, does he even understand what his supposedly pro-Black self just said? If Umar's logic was followed, then white women and biracial children would get thousands of dollars a month, but Black children of celebrities would not. What sense does this make? This is why Black women should date any man of any race, including white men who value them, and believe if the relationship ends, he will pay whatever he needs to provide for his family, including his ex-girlfriend or ex-wife. Also, Johnson called for a revolution against single Black moms and needy children. He is calling for Black men to have a revolution with child support and pay less, or hold women accountable. Don't Black women and children need food, water, clothes, rent or mortgage, and lights? Doesn't child support help with these needed things and even car payments for transportation for the child and car insurance, cell phones, so the women and children have a lifeline to the outside world, especially for emergencies? Let's listen to this clip.
Because the relationship is over. I mean, I think Black men need to organize, and we, had this dialogue. Black men need to organize and force a change in legislation regarding child support. First of all, if I can't see my child, you don't get my money. If I can't see my child, you don't get my money. That should be law. Because too many women are denying us the right to see our children and yet still benefiting from child support. That should be illegal, number one.
Not cool at all, man.
Yes, and women should be forced to account for the child support too. Because I know a lot of fathers who pay child support and they still have to take care of their children after they pay child support because the mother of the child is using child support on herself and not necessarily the children. So yes, child support should go on a card. It should go on a card, Art, and you have to use that credit card for all purchases for the
clip.
child.
This is why Black women will be giving all of their heaven to white men. Umar is the best commercial for why Black women need to date and marry white men.
Child support should go on a card. It should go on a card, Art, and you have to use that credit card for all purchases for the child. So that way, if the father wants to, Art, I should be able to log into my child support folder, my child support online profile, and I should be able to see what you're buying with my money. What is wrong with a Black father logging into the child support database, going to my profile and seeing that she bought my daughter some shoes, she paid for swimming lessons, class pictures, they went to the movies and dinner. I should see how my money is being spent. And not all Black women are guilty of misappropriating the child support. I don't want to say that they're doing that, but I do know a sizable proportion of Black women are guilty of misappropriating the child support.
Johnson that has collected a large sum of money and refuses to be transparent, and there is no financial oversight. And now there are unpaid taxes, unpaid utilities, and a revoked nonprofit for not filing 990s for 3 consecutive years. If you are not familiar with the tax issues and the unpaid utilities, along with the revoked nonprofit, I recommend that you watch the following videos. You have to start taking a deeper look to see if this person has a history of being financially irresponsible. So that is what we are going to be doing in this video. We are going to be looking at everything from child support to eviction. Full disclosure, everything covered in this video is available via public records. The first thing we are going to look at is the child support. If we look at the child support order, we see multiple orders to vacate a bench warrant, which means a bench warrant was issued because Umar failed to comply with the court's order to pay child support. If we look at the docket, it shows a generic order. A generic order means the parent obligated to pay child support has no identifiable means of income, So minimum wage is implied and used to calculate the child support payment. The court could also look at tax returns to determine the wages. And since they are unable to determine the wages, there is a chance that Umar has not been filing tax returns. And this takes us to the next thing we are going to look at, which are tax liens. Tax liens are public record, and some states will even post the information directly on their website. If we go to the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue website, we see a link to the individual tax lien list. Here are the list of names, and you see it was updated on December 1st, 2019. If I scroll down, we see Umar name listed 4 times. And there is a total of $12,506.55 in tax liens. So that is the child support and the tax liens.
That's not fair. And it needs to be a special law for celebrities, Art. There should be a ceiling on child support for celebrities. If your income bracket is at a certain level, and I can't predetermine what that is because I would need to think about that deeper, and I'm not a millionaire, okay? But there should be a predetermined income bracket that if you are at this income bracket or higher, you cannot be forced to pay more than this percentage of your earnings. The way in which these celebrity baby mamas, and don't get me wrong, I have no mercy for black men who bunny hopped. If you bunny hop and got stuck with a child support situation, I have no mercy on you because you should have never dated outside of the community. I want to be very clear about that. But for the brothers who are dating within the community, these women should not be able to get $25,000 a month if you can't
Marry white
afford it.
men. Let's listen to some of what Umar has to say about black women, child support, and white men not wanting to marry black women, but only to have sex with us. But wait a minute, the black wife effect was a viral TikTok trend that showcased white men and non-black men married to black married Umar, not just for sex.
Agenda is to sell white males or the possibility of a long-lasting romance with a white male to black women. That's the propaganda. And it's more so for young women and girls, more so than older black women. They want to, this is part of this destruction of the black family that we've been talking about. Same, it ain't changed.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the jobs, dropping off the crack, locking up the men, pushing the feminism, pushing the transgenderism.
Yes.
All of this is part of it. In this particular agenda here, the Meghan Markle phenomenon is to sell the white man to the black woman, to make the black woman quit the black man.
Yep.
Okay, to abandon. They want the black woman to cancel the black man. Cancel him out of your life for good. There's a white man waiting for you. The only problem with that narrative, white men are not in a rush to marry black women.
Not at all.
They are in a rush to sleep with black
The
women.
curiosity of
They
it.
are not in a rush to marry. Are there white men who marry black women? Of course there are. There's a lot of them. But do they suffer a chocolate bunny crisis the way the black man suffers a snow bunny crisis?
Not at all.
Hell no.
Right.
It's not even close.
Right.
I'll give you this. Like I've said before, the only white women that the black man can have are the white women other white men don't want.
Absolutely.
And the only white men that the black women can have are the white women that other white women don't want. So the black woman gets the leftovers.
Not just for sex. Looks like women got it wrong. He just wants black women, who are his biggest contributors, to continue to give him money for his non-existent school. Why should black women continue to listen to this unattractive, spitty, finger-looking scammer, who has not paid his child support and was evicted? Umar is a bum. Many famous white men are or have been married to black women, proving that love sees no color. Some of the most well-known and powerful duos are of mixed races. From Oscar-winning actors to rock and roll icons, noteworthy public figures, and even up-and-coming stars, there are several notable famous white men married to black women in Hollywood. A picture-perfect example of one of these interracial celebrity couples is David Bowie and Iman. The British rocker married the Somali-American model in 1992 and seemed more in love than ever before. Robert De Niro's first wife, Diani Abbott, acted in supporting roles in several of his films, including Taxi Driver. The couple divorced in 1988, and 9 years later, De Niro married African-American actress and singer Grace Hightower. Umar said black women only get the bottom of white men. Not true. A new generation of famous interracial couples are popping up in the entertainment industry and even collaborating professionally. British screenwriter Ol Parker met actress Thandie Newton while working on a BBC film and married in 1998. R&B singer Robin Thicke began dating actress Paula Patton when he was 16, and they married in 2005. Thicke and Patton even co-starred in his 2006 hit music video, Lost Without You. But she filed for divorce in 2014. In 2018, Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, married American actress Meghan Markle, who has a mixed ethnic heritage. Her father is Caucasian, and her mother is African American. The couple's first child, Archie Mountbatten Windsor, was born in 2019. Joshua Jackson and actress Jodie Turner-Smith began dating in 2018 and married in 2019. Their daughter, Juno, was born in April 2020, but Turner-Smith filed for divorce in 2023. Chef Wolfgang Puck married his third wife, designer Galila Asafa, in 2007. The couple has two sons, Oliver, B. 2005, and Alexander, B. 2006. Puck also has two sons from his second marriage to Barbara Lazaroff, Cameron and Byron. In 2013, Star Wars creator George Lucas married his second wife, Melody Hobson. Their daughter, Everest, was born via a surrogate in 2013. Lucas has three other children, Amanda with his first wife, Marcia Lou Griffin, and Katie and Jet, whom he adopted as a single parent. Singer Robin Thicke married model and actress Paula Patton in 2005. Their son, Julian, was born in 2010. The couple separated in 2014 after 21 years together and divorced in 2015. Matt Stone married Angela Howard in 2008. The couple has two children. NBA star Dirk Nowitzki married Jessica Olsen, sister of twin Swedish footballers Martin and Marcus Olsen, in 2012. They have three children, Malika, Max, and Morris. So who is Umar Johnson? This controversial figure is an American black activist, psychologist, and motivational speaker, known for his fiery statements and polarizing views. Lately, he's under fire for his comments about black women and child support. He's been criticized for his misogynistic and homophobic remarks, and people are demanding answers. Johnson has made big promises, like opening a school for black boys, but has yet to deliver. Critics say he's all talk and no action. Why should black women continue to listen to this scammer, who has not paid his child support and was evicted? Umar is a bum. In a recent interview, he discouraged black people from voting, calling the Democratic Party just as racist as the Republicans. And his comments about interracial relationships and same-sex marriage? Controversial to say the least. Who is Umar Johnson? Umar Rashad Ibn Abdullah Johnson, born Jermaine Shoemake, August 21, 1974, better known by his stage name Dr. Umar, is an American black activist, psychologist, and motivational speaker. Johnson considers himself a Pan-Africanist who condemns interracial marriage and homosexuality. Johnson is a native of North Philadelphia. His stepmother, Bernice Elizabeth Dawkins Abdullah Johnson, was a preschool teacher. In June 2014, Johnson said he would raise $5 million to buy the former campus of St. Paul's College in Lawrenceville, Virginia, which had closed down in 2013 due to financial struggles, and rename it to Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, which he said would be a boarding school for black boys. He claimed to have sufficient funds to buy the St. Paul's site in 2014, but did not do so. In 2015, Johnson claimed that he would open the school the following year. He failed to do so. Charing Ball, writing in the online magazine Madame Noire, discouraged donations for the project, citing Johnson's homophobic and misogynistic commentary in YouTube videos. In 2015, he opened a GoFundMe to raise money to acquire and rehabilitate either the former St. Paul's or Chamberlain Hunt Academy in Port Gibson, Mississippi. In 2017, The Root criticized Johnson for failing to provide financial documentation demonstrating whether he used any of the funds for the school. In April 2017, Johnson founded the National Independent Black Parent Association in Leimert Park, Los Angeles. Although Johnson claimed to have applied for 501c3 tax-exempt nonprofit status in 2015, there was no record of an application with the IRS as of 2017. In 2019, a Root commentator criticized Johnson for never providing a business plan, obtaining a license, publishing receipts, or taking other steps toward the construction of the school, despite Johnson's claim in 2017 to have raised $400, $00015 or $700,000 for the school. In April 2021, Johnson said that construction was complete, but that the school was not ready for classes. In an Instagram post dated March 1, 2023, Johnson announced that he plans to open the school in time for the 2024-25 school year. Johnson characterizes his commentary as Pan-Africanist, which Johnson renders as Pan-Africanist. He has called for Black Americans to identify with African people globally rather than with individual religions, nationalities, professions, and fraternal organizations. He referred to himself on his website as the Prince of Pan-Africanism. He engaged in a Twitter feud with Feminista Jones, a Philadelphia-based Black feminist commentator and activist. He has criticized Black Americans for celebrating Independence Day. He has denounced various Black public figures, including actor Jonathan Majors for dating a white woman, college football coach Deion Sanders for leaving the historically Black Jackson State to coach at Colorado, and Oprah Winfrey for being identified with feminism and LGBT rights. But he celebrated legendary writer and civil rights leader James Baldwin's birthday. Such a hypocrite. In speech and social media posts, Johnson has promoted misinformation, including a viral Instagram post falsely claiming that Bill Gates sought for at least 3 billion people to die as part of a population control scheme. Johnson has also baselessly accused the Population Council and Planned Parenthood of using homosexuality as a population control strategy in the Black community. Now, I don't about Bill Gates, he seems shady as well. In contrast to mainstream psychology, he has referred to homosexuality as a mental disorder and claimed to be able to treat it. In a 2021 speech at Lehigh University, Johnson criticized former President Barack Obama, claiming that his administration gave my civil rights over to the LGBTQ, the feminist movement, the Mexicans. In various speeches, Johnson also criticized President Joe Biden, contending that he had not done enough to protect Black people from police violence. In a 2023 interview on the Breakfast Club radio show, Johnson discouraged Black people from voting, said he had not voted for many years, and described the Democratic Party as a white racist institution that is just as racist as the Republican Party. In a 2023 interview on Joe Budden's podcast, Johnson criticized Black people who believed that Eminem was the greatest rapper of all time, asserting that it speaks to how psychologically ill we are as a race of people, and no non-African can ever be the best of anything African. It's an insult to the ancestors. It's an insult to the race. In social media posts, Johnson has criticized interracial marriage, opposed same-sex marriage, and promoted various conspiracy theories. 2. In January 2020, after the death of Kobe Bryant, Johnson falsely suggested that the helicopter was sabotaged as part of an assassination attempt ordered by the NBA and the pharmaceutical industry. 282930. In 2020, after NFL player Deshaun Jackson was disciplined for making anti-Semitic Instagram posts, Johnson suggested that Jackson's views were valid and that he should not apologize for them. 6. In May 2021, Johnson criticized Kevin Samuels, saying that he was slandering and criticizing Black women who don't emulate Eurocentric standards of beauty and success. In September 2021, he hosted an Instagram Live where he married 2 women. Claimed to be a Frederick Douglass descendant, Johnson has repeatedly claimed to have a familial connection with Frederick Douglass, often claiming to be a direct descendant of the 19th century abolitionist and civil rights leader. The Douglas family released a statement saying, "We can tell you with 100% certainty that he, Johnson, is not a descendant of Frederick Douglass." 2018 Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology hearing. In December 2017, Johnson was ordered to attend a hearing before the Pennsylvania State Board of Psychology the following month. He faced charges of engaging in the practice of psychology without a license. Johnson denied that he had claimed to be a practicing licensed psychologist, and the board did not strip him of a license. Many people have criticized Johnson, including commentators in the magazines The Root and The Griot. South African commentator Kanya Machali, writing in a 2022 op-ed in the South African newspaper Mail and Guardian, likened Johnson to Louis Farrakhan and said that both men trafficked in a goofy performance of Pan-Africanism. Anwar Curtis, an opinion contributor to PenLive, defended Johnson, describing him in a 2017 op-ed as a noted conservative and Afrocentric thinker and dedicated vessel for his people. Various observers, including the Root commentators, have called Johnson a hotep, a term that refers to a grouping of Afrocentric commentators who espouse a mixture of black radicalism and social conservatism. Molefiketi Asante argues that Johnson lacks a grasp of Afrocentric academic theory and philosophy, and thus cannot be termed Afrocentric. Johnson graduated from Millersville University before graduating in 2012 from the Philadelphia College of Osteopathic Medicine with a PsyD in clinical psychology. Some things I agree with Umar on, such as the Democratic Party not being good for black people. However, why should black women continue to listen to this unattractive, spitty, finger-looking scammer, who has not paid his child support and was evicted? Umar.
When you have an individual, in this case Umar Johnson, that has collected a large sum of money and refuses to be transparent, and there is no financial oversight, and now there are unpaid taxes, unpaid utilities, and a revoked non-profit for not filing 990s for 3 consecutive years. If you are not familiar with the tax issues and the unpaid utilities, along with the revoked non-profit, I recommend that you watch the following videos. You have to start taking a deeper look to see if this person has a history of being financially irresponsible. So that is what we are going to be doing in this video. We are going to be looking at everything from child support to eviction. Full disclosure, everything covered in this video is available via public records. The first thing we are going to look at is the child support. If we look at the child support order, we see multiple orders to vacate a bench warrant, which means a bench warrant was issued because Umar failed to comply with the court's order to pay child support. If we look at the docket, it shows a generic order. A generic order means the parent obligated to pay child support has no identifiable means of income, so minimum wage is implied and used to calculate the child support payment. The court could also look at tax returns to determine the wages. And since they are unable to determine the wages, there is a chance that Umar has not been filing tax returns. And this takes us to the next thing we are going to look at, which are tax liens. Tax liens are public record, and some states will even post the information directly on their website. If we go to the Pennsylvania Department of Revenue website, we see a link to the individual tax lien list. Here are the list of names, and you see it was updated on December 1st, 2019. If I scroll down, we see Umar name listed 4 times. And there is a total of $12,506.55 in tax liens. So that is the child support and the tax liens. And last but not, choose defendant, then choose landlord tenant. I am going to type in Umar Johnson's name. You see Umar Johnson is listed twice. How do I know this is the correct Umar Johnson? Well, if we click on the case number, You remember that address I told you to pay close attention to. We see it's the same address listed on these court documents. The only difference is the zip code. One ends in an 8 and one ends in a 9. But if you do a Google Maps search, both addresses point to the same location. We see this case was filed on 12/15/2010. And if we look at the complaint, it's for non-payment of rent in the sum of $500.13. This case was withdrawn without prejudice, so maybe it was settled with the landlord. So if we go back and look at the next case, as you see, it's the same address. And this case was filed in 2019. If we look at the complaint, we see the following. The defendant is in possession of the property and refuses to surrender possession of the property. Plaintiff demands judgment of possession and money judgment in the amount itemized below, based on the following. You see the landlord is suing for what looks like the balance of July's rent and the full rent for August and September. Wait, didn't Umar go to Ghana in August, so he's living ghetto fabulous, traveling to Ghana while not paying his rent?
Umar is a bum. Stay tuned for more updates and don't miss out on the latest in Black empowerment. Catch you in the next video. This has been The Awakening, Black Women United. I am your host, Sherry Danny. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit the notification bell so you know every time I upload a new video. Remember, why should Black women continue to listen to this unattractive, spitty, finger-looking scammer who has not paid his child support and was evicted? Umar is a bum.